Hello! Today I'm going to explain to you what a fuel cell is and how it works in an electric car. It is a very exciting time in the automobile industry with electric, hybrid, and fuel cell cars all emerging as more fuel-efficient options. However, it can be confusing to understand what each of these cars is and why they work. An electric car runs entirely off of a battery, which needs to be recharged. A hybrid car is powered both by electric sources and traditional gasoline engine. A fuel cell car uses hydrogen and oxygen to power the car through what is called a fuel cell. But the question remains, what is a fuel cell? A fuel cell is like a battery because it provides electricity to a system. For instance, a battery in an electric car provides the power for a car to move forward. That same electric energy is used to move a fuel cell car, but the electricity is not stored in a battery, but is made from producing water from hydrogen and oxygen. How does that work? Let me explain. A hydrogen cell has three basic parts to it. First is the anode. The anode is where the hydrogen enters the system. It is usually made of platinum, which is one reason why fuel cells can be so expensive. Next, there is a layer which is called the proton exchange membrane, or PEM. The PEM does not allow electricity or electrons to pass through it, but can allow positive hydrogen ions to pass through. This is critical for the fuel cell to work and produce electricity for the car. The last part to a fuel cell is the cathode. The cathode is connected to the anode with a wire, which allows electrons to flow from the anode to the cathode. This movement of electrons is the electricity that powers the car motor. Let's see how this works at the atomic level. Here you can see where the individual atoms move through the fuel cell. Hydrogen enters the fuel cell and is separated from its electrons so that it can pass through the proton exchange membrane. Electrons move through a wire which can power a motor, and then towards the cathode. Once the electrons are introduced to a system with oxygen and hydrogen, they allow for water to form and leave the system. As you can see, there is no carbon emissions from this process, which makes it a very clean source of energy for the automotive industry. In order to put this into a car, many of these fuel cells are stacked together to make a system of fuel cells, which can produce enough power to run the car motor. This fuel cell stack is fed hydrogen from tanks within the car, and oxygen is provided from the air intake of the car. With further research to lower the cost and increase safety, fuel cells cars could be the future of electric cars because they have almost no carbon emissions. Hopefully now you have a better understanding of how and why fuel cells are so effective. Thank you for watching.